Hi everyone, I have been buying. I made it my mission at the beginning of January to get my hands on as many of the affordable new releases as physically possible. There's been a lot of new releases. So between Look Fantastic, Boots and Superdrug, I feel like I've got quite a few. And these are all affordable, but the end total value of all the items that I bought was extortionate. I bought a lot. Anyway, all the things that I bought aren't going to be featured in this video because, I bought several concealers and, there are lots of multiple items that I bought, but we're going to feature quite a few today and I'm really excited to get some of these items on my skin for the first time. So if you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new videos on YouTube every single week. I'm also on Instagram if you fancy checking me out over there. And I'd really appreciate it if you find this video helpful, you consider clicking on that subscribe button. So the first product I'm going to try out today is from Maybelline. This is the Perfecta 4-in-1 Whipped Matte Makeup. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get the Glow Makeup at the same time as this one was released. The Glow Makeup, the one that everybody's raved about since June, I think, in the US. Still not available here in the UK, and I've got a feeling that that will be more my thing than this one, but we're going to give it a good go. So this says it gives an instant perfected matte look, it blurs pores, mattifies, conceals blemishes, even skin tone with light coverage. So that surprises me a little bit because it's quite a tall claim to give light coverage for this, so I'm expecting quite a lot. We'll see whether I get it. So this is supposed to be a primer, a powder, and a concealer, and a BB cream. It comes in several different shades. I've obviously gone for the fairest shade with me being practically transparent. So this is the shade 00 Fair Light. So let's see what this is like. Usually I don't go for that sort of whipped texture, but yeah. Oh, it's definitely a whipped texture. Look at that. That's very moussey. Oh, okay. So when you put your hand in it, it sort of, it doesn't really stick to anything. It's very, very strange, quite silicone-y to touch. Let's see. You are supposed to apply this with your fingers, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so this does feel like it's got a slip to it, so it's, yeah, very silicone-like. I may have applied a little bit too much. This is definitely more of a primer feel to this than a BB cream hydrating foundation feel to this. It's it feels exactly like a primer would feel. Okay, so this definitely has a little bit of coverage, but I wouldn't say it was light coverage. I would definitely say it was sheer coverage. It's not enough coverage for me. If you've got perfect skin, it probably would be for you. But I'm a little bit disappointed with the level of coverage considering that I applied probably double the amount of product that I should have applied. It does say that it will cover blemishes. It hasn't managed to do that. There's still a bit of redness poking through there. There's still a bit of redness poking through there. Also, the dryness on my skin just looks completely exaggerated. There now looks like there's dryness there that you couldn't see before I applied this, especially on the tip of my nose. If I zoom you in there, also around this area here. My smile lines, I don't think have ever looked this dry in my entire life. So I'm going to carry on playing around with this because I applied double the amount that I should have done. So maybe that is the reason why I have all this. But mattifying primers generally dry out my skin. Do I have business trying this when I have dry skin? Probably not, but I did want to give it a go. One thing I will say is although this doesn't really work for me as a skin perfector on its own, This feels like it's going to be a great primer. It's really filled in my pores. You can see the little polka dot effect that that's had on there. I have never felt my skin so smooth. It really is very, very smoothing. So this may be the best primer on the planet. Let's see. So I picked up a new foundation yesterday from Superdrug. It did say that this was new. It may just be new to Superdrug. I've never seen this before. If you've already tried this and you tried it like 2 years ago, please do let me know. It's from Max Factor. It's the Miracle Pure Skin Improving Foundation, and it's supposed to give 24 hours worth of hydration. It's got hyaluronic acid in here, it's got vitamin C, and it's also got an SPF of 30 with a PA rating of +++. Now I know some of you will be sensitive to SPF ingredients, so I will put a little banner on the bottom of the screen telling you which ingredients make up the SPF 30 protection in this foundation. I've gone for the shade 40 Light Ivory. So I opened this yesterday and swatched it on the back of my hand. The one thing I will say is make sure you shake this thoroughly, because I don't think I did that yesterday and it was slightly separated in the tube, so I got a lot of clear fluid that was very, very runny out when I first dispensed it. So when I really did shake it well, it comes out in quite a nice thick consistency. I'm going to take my Refa 31 brush and see how this applies. So it is quite thick. And a word of warning, this is extremely fragranced. And it doesn't disappear for a while either. The swatch on the back of my hand was it's quite potent for quite a while. So the finish of this foundation looks incredibly flattering on my skin. It's got like a radiant, luminous finish to it. It's really lovely. Now, I have to keep reminding myself that I do have a mattifying primer on underneath this, so if I was to try this with no primer on at all, it would probably be even more radiant and luminous than this. I'm loving it at the minute. Look how stunning that is. So I'm really pleased that I tried this as a primer rather than just a standalone product, because this has worked so well as a primer. I am still having to rub the little bits out of my hairline, but that's an application problem, I think, rather than a product problem. That's my fault. So this still feels a little bit tacky on the surface of the skin. I think this would benefit massively from maybe a hydrating primer, something not too silicone-y, because the silicone feel of the primer that I have on today is really hindering this from absorbing into the skin. And this is a really nourishing and hydrating formula, so it's supposed to actually sink into the skin rather than sitting just on the surface. So I think that's probably why I have a slight bit of tackiness left here, because it hasn't really been able to get down there, but I am liking the way that it looks so far. The formula of this foundation has actually made my dryness look better as well, so win-win. Let's move on to a concealer that I have been dying to try. Everybody in the US that has tried this has absolutely raved about it, so as soon as I could get my hands on it, I definitely did. Unfortunately, they didn't have my shade, so I've had to go for a slightly darker one, but I am going to try this out anyway and hope for the best. This is from NYX, and it's the Bare With Me Concealer Serum. So the consistency of this has slightly shocked me. Considering it's a serum concealer, I was expecting something a lot looser than this. This is much thicker than I anticipated. As per usual, I am going to apply this with my fingers. It's slightly too dark. Slightly too dark, but you know, we'll make it work. Okay, so I am liking how this looks underneath my eyes. It also feels completely weightless. It has covered a little bit. It's not masses of coverage. But if I put more on over this, it's just going to crease to high heaven. So I think I made a bit of an error in judgment by applying the Perfecta 4-in-1 underneath my eye area. Not only is it slightly drying on my under eyes, but it's also hindering the serum concealer from getting into the skin. It's just sitting on the surface, which is going to increase the chance of me getting creasing throughout the day. So what I'm going to do on one side, I'm going to take this concealer and also the 4-in-1 Perfecta off and apply it to bare skin and see how we get on, because I don't want to form a judgment due to an error. Now, it's not masses of coverage. I would say this gives a medium coverage, and sometimes I need more than that, but it feels nice. It looks nice. It's quite a luminous, light reflecting finish. This reminds me of the overall finish of the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. It's sort of that level of coverage. Let me see if it's just buildable on the area that I need it. And it is. It is buildable, but only a little bit. So I think that looks great. I wish it had the tiniest bit more coverage. And it is creasing a little bit underneath my eye, which I don't get with my other concealers. So that is a little bit disappointing, but I'm going to continue to play around with this and see how I get on. Okay, so I may be in the minority here, but I am not completely blown away by this concealer on first application. So it's perfectly nice, but I have a lot of perfectly nice concealers in my drawer. It feels really lightweight. It feels very hydrating and nourishing underneath the eye, which is very nice. But it's not offering me as much coverage as I would like. Yes, it's buildable, but this has already started to crease on the areas that I've built it up. So I would say this is one of those concealers that does need setting in place, but I don't have enough information about this from first application, so I don't want to judge at this point. It's a nice concealer. So the concealer has set beautifully well with my usual Pat McGrath powder, which is the one that I use on a daily basis with all of my concealers. It looks stunning. It's not looking heavy. It's not looking dry in any areas, even on the side that I use the primer, which actually looks a little smoother and nicer than the side that was applied on just bare skin. So that's definitely something to note. Now that the sheen on the surface of the skin from the concealer has been diffused by the powder though, the level of coverage has also gone down, which isn't my preference. But for those days where I'm not wearing very much makeup at all, for those days where I want a very natural look, this may be a really good concealer to consider. I'm liking it at the moment, but again, just not blown away yet. That may have changed by the end of the day. Okay, so I've just filled in my brows using my NYX Micro Brow Pencil because I have a brand new brow product to try. This is again from NYX and it's the NYX Thick It, Stick It Brow Thickening Mascara. Have this in 2 shades, so I've gone for the shade Taupe and also Espresso. I was a little confused, to say the least, at what shade I would actually be. So yeah, I've bought opposite ends of the spectrum. I've bought quite a fair one and also quite a deep one, and if we have to mix, we have to mix. So let me show you the difference in both of these shades. So this one is Taupe, this one is Espresso, and on the back of my hand you'll see Espresso is at the top, Taupe is at the bottom. So there's quite a huge difference. They are, like I said, opposite ends of the spectrum. I think there's only one darker than Espresso, but the other ones looked slightly too warm, and I didn't want my brows looking orange like they often do when I apply a warm shade. So we're going to go in with Taupe first and see whether I need something a little bit deeper for the outside edge. Okay, so easy to apply. I wish the spoolie was a little smaller so you could be a bit more accurate, especially on the outer part. I don't think I need anything darker than this, so I'm going to give Espresso a miss and put that to one side. So I really quite like that. Considering I've got no brow gel in my brows, I've only done them with the NYX Microbrow Pencil and just filled them in a little bit. This has some hold to it, as well as having those thickening fibres in the formula as well. So actually that's quite impressive, especially for an affordable product. That's really quite decent. So I am not miffed with that in the slightest. I think it's a good product. It did cling to the first eyebrow that I did immediately, and it took a little bit more time on my left eyebrow. I'm not quite sure why that is. I did keep on having to dip back into the tube, but I'll keep playing around with it. Initial thoughts, I'm impressed. So I didn't have a new blush or bronzer, so I've just applied those off camera. I do, however, have a new mascara. This is the new one from Maybelline, and it is the Colossal Curl Bounce Mascara. I've seen this a lot on TikTok and the results are just out of this world. However, it's quite obvious that the people trying the mascara out in the TikTok videos have had a lash lift or a lash perm. So will it work on my lashes? I am going to just curl my lashes slightly, but not go to town on them at all. So I'm just giving them a little tweak. And then we'll see if this works. I do like the applicator. It's got a slight curve to it. It's not overly bushy, but it's bushy enough. So it's not super thin, but not super thick. Let's have a look. Okay, easy to get to the base of the lash. That's the first thing I'm finding. And I'm not getting any on my lids, which I like. Okay, I can already tell I'm gonna really like this mascara. That's straight away. Now, mascaras come into their own on day 3 or 4 when the formula thickens a little bit. But this is the first time this mascara has been opened. I've not tried this off camera. I haven't been tempted. Well, I have been tempted, but I haven't tried it off camera. So this is when the mascara is at its thinnest. And I really like that. So I'm actually going to do this without curling this lash at all. For those of you that don't like curling your lashes, it freaks my mum out, these things. She can't even watch me do it. So for those of you that don't like to use a lash curler, let's see how this goes without prepping the lash first. So completely flat lash. Okay, so I am super impressed right now. I'm just trying to pull myself together and collate my words because I'm pretty much gobsmacked at this moment. Both top and bottom lashes are now completed. This is the side that I didn't curl using my eyelash curler, and I don't think you can tell the difference. I mean, the curl is definitely there. My eyelashes do not look like this normally without mascara on. And very few mascaras can create a curl for me and, more importantly, hold that curl for me. So I'm trying my best to rein myself in. So all my lashes are separated. You can see every single individual lash. There are no clumps. So this has really created a curl on this side. I pushed it right into the root of the lash and then pulled it all the way through to the tip. And that sort of movement created a really beautiful stand on edge curl. There's nothing else to say. Okay, so I lied. So I will let you know if this isn't a seriously hydrating mascara. You know I prefer a hydrating mascara, which means it tends to transfer onto the upper lids. At this moment in time, this isn't transferring at all. It feels completely dry, which suggests to me it might not be overly nourishing on the lashes. I may be completely wrong about that though, but I mean, the effects of this, I will live off for days. So as promised, I've picked up a couple more shades of the NYX lip pencil. I only had one shade, which was nude pink, and which I love, but I just wanted to branch out a little bit, and these are unbelievable quality. So I've gone for the shade Natural and also Mauve. I'm going to use Natural today. Really am finding some gems today. I think this is my new favourite shade, the shade Natural, which is SPL 810. It's just gorgeous. I have picked up from Maybelline one of their new lip products. I'm not actually sure what this is called. Okay, I've just had to look it up. It's called Maybelline Colour Sensational Ultimatte Lipstick. And this is in the shade More Buff, which is $6.99, and it looks stunning. Feels really creamy. For a matte lipstick, that feels lovely. I do have really dry lips at the moment because I'm my own worst enemy. I sit watching things in the evening and I have to do something with my hands. So at the moment I'm sort of picking, which is not a good thing. I really need to stop doing it. Maybe I ought to use one of these fidget toys whilst I'm watching anything on TV. I have to be doing two things at once. It's just, you know, my thing. I have to be doing something with my fingers. But even though my lips are dry, this has smoothed out all my dryness. My lips looked incredibly dry before I applied this, and they now don't look dry. I wouldn't say that this was seriously matte though, like the name of this would suggest, Ultimatte. This is more of a satin matte. I really like it though. So as well as $6.99 in More Buff, I also picked up the shade $7.99 in More Taupe. $7.99 is at the top, $6.99 is at the bottom. Really pretty. Lovely. Just adds a little bit of warmth. So if you're wanting something more cool toned, a $6.99 is probably going to be for you. More warm toned, $7.99 is probably going to be for you. So that's the final look for today. I just want to let everyone know that I really did try and make an effort for you all with my hair today. I had it all curled beautifully, but turns out curls really, yeah, I don't have the bone structure for curls. I can't pull them off. So I tried to then straighten my hair with heat protection. Don't all come for me. But yeah, it didn't end well and I look like a Fraggle, which is not a good look for me. So yeah, I've put it up and that's where it's staying for the rest of the day. So this video has been a bit of a weird one. I have either been blown away and quite surprised by products, or I've been a bit disappointed. Please remember that these have been first impressions. I haven't really put these products through their paces. I will go ahead and do that now though, and if my opinion does alter slightly, I will let you know in my upcoming faves and fails video, so make sure you check that out. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye everyone.